Once again on Supercars Talk, we're ditching the real shed for the virtual world to review the second round of the Supercars All Stars eSeries. So last night we had round two of the eSeries. We had a couple of different winners. Anton got a win in there, Cam Waters, and then Shane Van Gisbergen had a couple of wins. Max Verstappen did extremely well. But we may as well start where it all begins. Qualifying was actually telecast this time. Someone didn't watch it, did they?
No, did not. 6 o'clock starts a bit early, Dave. For those of us that are still working, mate, we don't get home that early. But
So,
yeah, at least you watched it, so one of us did.
yeah, working from home, it was a lot easier to watch a 6 o'clock kind of telecast. I will admit I did watch it delayed, so I could fast forward through the ads and some of the what I like to call crap. Usually, the filler.
Wow, filler.
Yeah, I know which way the track goes around, so I don't need to. Well, I feel like I don't need to watch that. Qualifying, I actually found to be a bit boring, mainly because they didn't have split times or anything on there. It was just the cars driving around the track, and then the commentators getting excited at the last second for what seemed like no reason. Yeah, that's.
Did they have one car out at a time? Is that how it worked, or?
No, all the cars, like it was like a normal qualifying session.
Yeah.
But I assume iRacing doesn't do the split time stuff, so it was essentially just cars driving around on a track, and you had no idea who was really going fast or whatever. The other, maybe there was a lot of guys that had like kind of nearly stopped on the side of the track, or come to a stop and then start again. I'm not. Is that an iRacing thing? Do you know of, or
Not that I've seen. But I mean, is it to cool their tyres down a bit, maybe?
I don't. There was something mentioned about. I think Van Gisbergen did at one point, and they said something about a hard reset, but then he'd go back to the pits and have full fuel again. But yeah, maybe someone who knows a bit more about iRacing could explain what's going on, because it just seemed weird having guys stopping on the side of the track and then taking off again. So yeah. Yeah, that basically covers qualifying. I can't even remember. I think Anton had a cup, one, maybe two poles or something. And yeah, Max Verstappen qualified really well. So he has a lot of iRacing experience, though. So he's not like, Rick Kelly or Dave Reynolds, who didn't bother showing up.
How did it come about that Verstappen got involved? I mean, I saw yesterday in the media there was a bit of stuff around how he's Shane Van Gisbergen's mate and they were texting back and forth and all this sort of stuff. But is that something that Supercars facilitated or iRacing or?
I'm not sure how it all started, but yeah, I think it has to do with they probably looking for, some stars to join in. And yeah, Van Gisbergen and Max are mates and race together on the same team, apparently. I'm not sure how that works. But yeah, in some iRacing thing, they race on the same team. And yeah, I think they're having a chat about it, and yeah, went from there. I quite liked how they did the proper kind of Red Bull racing livery on the car as well. Like the livery stuff has been done really well.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. It's interesting seeing inside the Commodore, though it's got the Opel badging instead of the Holden badging. I don't know whether you noticed that in the
No, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, so on the
it's
dash,
probably one of those. Yeah, it's one of those subliminal things that you don't even pick up on. I don't like.
I saw someone posted about it online, and then I went back and had a look. But it's interesting that Ford, in the Mustang, obviously it's Ford, but globally the Mustang is Ford branded. Whereas, the ZB through Europe is a Opel.
Yeah,
and yeah, so with the livery, they've missed that internally.
That's interesting. Well, that'll please a lot of people who like to complain that the ZB isn't an Australian Holden car. I mean, because the Mustangs, made in Australia and everything. So
They should write to someone at Fisherman's Bend and let them know that they're not happy about it, because I'm sure there's someone there who gives a shit.
do you reckon there's anyone left at the moment with the COVID?
I doubt it very much.
Fisherman's Bend.
There's someone down there processing warranty claims. That's about it, I reckon.
You wouldn't have any warranty claims on a Holden, would you?
No. I think didn't Broomy do a video about how shit his VF is? He should have got a VF2 or something.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, I mean, you watch, I'll just touch wood here, but yeah, I got a VF2 and I've had no issues with it. Other than the air conditioner makes a really loud hissing noise after you've been using it. You turn the car off and pisses like a ton of water out of it, but apparently that's normal. So the air conditioner still works and it's logged down as a complaint. So, that's as much as we can do at the moment.
Absolutely.
So the racing, well, I thought it was pretty good. Like the guys obviously practicing, kind of 18 hours a day for the last week. It was pretty decent. Obviously there was a few crashes and stuff, but nothing too bad. Didn't get to see Helicopter Kelly this week, which a little bit disappointing.
Didn't see much. To start with, I wasn't even sure that he was competing, because the driver list that showed the order they were in only went down to 18 or 20 or something, because Rick was cruising around in the 22 to 24. I didn't realise that he was even racing. But
we call that McCullough Jones territory.
Well, I was looking for him as well, and I don't know whether he wasn't racing either. I didn't see the cutaway to him in his bedroom with his mace lying on his bed in the background.
He was busy crashing the fake car like he destroys the real life one all the time.
Yeah. I think the racing, I reckon, was better. Much better quality overall. I think the guys that are good, your Van Gisbergen, Verstappen. Did you just drop your surface, or what happened?
Yeah, it just fell off the makeshift stand. Where were we?
All right, so the racing.
The racing.
So I think
pause there with the technical difficulty.
Yeah. The quality of racing, I reckon, this week was definitely better, and I think the guys that are obviously experienced on the sim, like Van Gisbergen, Verstappen, Anton, these sorts of guys were really good. To watch it, it didn't look that dissimilar to watching live racing. In terms of how they were overtaking, using the draft, that type of thing. The guys that are spuds are still spuds.
Yeah, well, that's some of the guys aren't practiced at the sim racing stuff. So you probably don't like Rick Kelly for certain reasons.
I like Rick Kelly, but I think that the guys that are good, they obviously know the tricks, how to use the game to your advantage. Yeah,
that's it. And I think quite a few of the guys have said about you don't have that seat of the pants kind of feeling with, you don't know when you're going to lock a brake until you lock a brake, and that you don't feel the rear of the car sliding and things like that. Whereas obviously the guys who play a lot, like quite clearly Verstappen, who plays a lot, comes in and can still do quite well, even though he doesn't kind of know the setup of the cars and things like that. It's funny, he was saying about the auto blip on the throttle, on the down changing. He was using an auto blip and reckons if he knew how to do that properly, he'd probably, find a few tenths or half a second or something. But yeah, it was interesting how he could just, obviously, we're not talking about some spud that races Formula Ford or anything. As much like him or hate him, he is one of the best Formula One drivers in the world at the moment. If not potentially, well, he's definitely top three. You can't really argue with that.
No, that's right.
Yeah. So, you're not playing with someone who doesn't know what they're doing. But some of the racing was, and like his pass on, what was it, Van Gisbergen and Scott McLaughlin in one go, that was brilliant. But then they had that, like the slipstream duel where Van Gisbergen got him in Barcelona. Yeah, that was like watching real racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, the good racing was really good,
Yeah,
and that's where up the front, those guys really they put on a good show. It was great to watch.
yeah, yeah. So at the end of the weekend, we saw, or the end of the night, kind of felt like it was a weekend with 4 races. And it was getting quite late for some of us who need their beauty sleep. I definitely need a lot of it. Van Gisbergen ended up winning, got a big $1,000 check to give to his favourite charity. Funnily enough, is a Red Bull charity, Wings for Life. I thought that was a good touch, though, having an overall winner for the night, and doing something for charity, especially in these shitty times. So that made it feel a bit more like an event as well, having an overall winner, which I don't think they did last time, did they?
No, they didn't.
Yeah, had Scott's leading championship. Apparently there's championship points. I have no idea. I assume it's probably Van Gisbergen leading at the moment, maybe, after last night.
But he didn't do that well last week. He was he finished in 23rd and 17th or something.
Yeah.
So it might be someone. It might be like an Anton, who's been pretty consistent the whole way through.
I'm just trying to look it up on the other computer. Supercars eSeries. It's for that other thing that happened last year.
What?
Where they had the computer guys playing it that no one cared about because it wasn't fun like watching Helicopter Rick going. Oh, it is. Okay, I've got the scores here. Scott McLaughlin is leading on 501 points. Cam Waters in second, 55 behind. Van Gisbergen third, 94 behind. Jaime, 100 behind. And Chaz Mostert in fifth, 116 behind. Anton's down in seventh. Unlike the real world, Fabian Coulthard's in sixth, somewhere near the top. I don't mind Coulthard that much, but it's just, it's fun.
I like him. I really like him. I think that
I know you do.
Yeah, he gets a bit hard done by. He gets smashed online, which I just don't understand. Probably you and your mates getting on there, keyboard warrioring and give him a hard time. I find it hard. It's like putting Bottas in the second Mercedes. Like, I'd much prefer them to sign like 2 number ones and go with a team in that position, go all out 2 number ones. Like, I'm not a big fan of this when, you're quite right up the top. And that's, obviously I'm not a Triple Eight fan. I think I've made that quite clear a lot of the time. I quite like their policy, though, of having, at some points they've had 3 top drivers. Like, when had the 3 cars going, you couldn't argue they had 3 brilliant drivers. If I was Penske, I would have done everything to get Chaz Mostert last year. Or Nick Percat, but that's an argument for another day. Look, Chaz, I can understand. Nick Percat. Mate, Nick Percat couldn't get a driver Team Sydney right now. I don't know about... I think he's
Nick Percat couldn't be... It's the size of a checkbook at Team Sydney, but...
yeah. Look, I mean, it is an argument for another day. I think in the... obviously we're talking eSeries, but...
Yeah.
I think to see Scotty leading is surprising given what happened last night. Obviously, he developed that lead last week.
He was still up the front most of last night, though.
Yeah, he was. Was it the second or third race the third race it must have been, where he got pushed out right on the start, on the first corner?
Yeah. There was one of them.
Look, it's going to happen. I think one thing... last night was even guys that had accidents, they came back a lot quicker than what they did last week.
Yeah, is that a setting in the game or something? Because there was a few that seemed to get into first corner incidents and then all of a sudden they're at the front by the end of the race.
Yeah, I don't
So,
know.
and it was Scott in the reverse grid one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was the.
Yeah, where he got run up the backside by, I think it was crash prone Macaulay Jones, wasn't it?
Or was it Verstappen that hit him?
No, I think Verstappen had got through most of it. Anyway,
Hmm.
whatever. The car was, he got hit
No.
hard in the back, but for some, he pulled over and went to stop or something.
Yeah, okay, I don't know. We need to find out more.
We probably need to know a bit more about how the game works before we.
I actually downloaded iRacing, so I was home like most people in Australia, isolated over the 4-day weekend, and I downloaded iRacing, paid my $7 US for the month,
Yep.
which is about $40 Australian at the moment because of the currency conversion, and did 24 hours worth of updates on my computer that hadn't been fired up in 10 or 12 years, to get it to work, plugged in the steering wheel, and it took me about 50 goes to do a full lap of Bathurst without writing the car off. Right? Now, I don't play video games a lot. Yeah, I don't play video games a lot, but I'm reasonably competent on, all the usual ones.
If you had like Gran Turismo
really
or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is like nothing like that. Tyres are cold. When they talk about cold tyres, coming out of the pits out of Bathurst, you cannot put your foot flat to the floor. Even third, fourth gear, it just fries them.
Really?
Yeah, and you get up there up the top, and you go to turn, and you got no grip. Like it is really interesting how the game is set up to be more lifelike.
Yep.
So yeah, there's definitely a knack to it. I think if you played it a lot, you could get really good. And obviously, that's what these guys do, like Van Gisbergen and Verstappen, Andre and some of these other guys that spend a lot of time in the sim. But I think, for people like Rick or obviously Dave Reynolds didn't give a shit about it anymore because he said he's not going to do it.
Well, I don't know. I heard that Dave was on borrowed gear last week or something.
Yeah, he was, because I saw on a Facebook post someone was asking they needed to buy whatever this brand is, Fanatec or whatever this steering wheel and pedal brand is that they use in the good simulators. And someone said, I can lend you one. And they said, no, it's for Erebus. And they don't want to buy it. So I assumed it was for Dave.
For Dave. Because obviously Anton's setup's pretty good. They also mentioned, I thought Will Brown was right into it, and then they kept saying about Will Brown being new to the game. But
look, I thought he was good last night.
Yeah, he did pretty well. Although he's 22nd in the championship, which is a long way down.
Yeah, but he didn't race last week, mate. He's only raced in 50% of the races.
Max Verstappen is 16th. So there's no excuse. I mean...
Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I do want to say, did you see that bit where Max Verstappen was... they had him on the car. I can't remember who it was. Was it Will Brown or was it Chaz Moster where he overtook him with the slipstream?
Do you reckon that Max Verstappen had cheat codes on?
Mate, I think there might be something in it.
Well, he's in a Red Bull car. So
mate, he has the real car pace.
Bit of a parity adjustment.
Well, look, there's something, I don't know what it is, but to me, there was something in it. Maybe they gave him a bit of an advantage because he's not used to driving, a sedan.
Get the big name up the front to encourage Alonso to come in and have a crack next week.
Well, look, I mean, I don't know. Maybe next week it'll be Pastor Maldonado racing. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, do they have internet in Venezuela at the moment? They're in a bit of shit, aren't
they? I'm sure he'd have the NBN in the church or wherever he lives.
I think he lives in Monaco with the rest of the ex-Formula One drivers. But
who's that Formula One driver that's the bullet, the one that Sebastian Vettel had to go out and said he's like a tornado?
Oh, no, well, there's been a few over the years.
The Russian one that was racing for Red Bull. Or for Toro Rosso.
I'm trying to remember now. Because Vettel's had a few arguments with people over the years.
Russian Formula One drivers.
Oh, Kvyat.
Yeah, we need to get him because I reckon
He's calmed
give
down a
him
bit
some
now.
cheat codes. Give him the same, higher power that Verstappen had last night, and he would go through that field and just clean them up.
Allegedly higher power.
Yeah.
Cheat code. He had the demon 888 tweaks to the car.
Well, look, you can say Triple Eight or DJR Team Penske. I mean, I can't speak about that, but it definitely seemed for Scott to be leading the championship after, last night where he torpedoed through turn one and then came back to finish third or whatever it was.
Well, they just have the questionable clearances on the engine, so.
Well, questionable, and apparently there's something to do with the muffler as well, with the exhaust restrictions. I saw some conspiracy theorist post that on Supercars Facebook last night. Some guy saying that DJR Team Penske are a pack of cheats and they get away with all this stuff that they should get fined for. And
there was the muffler thing at the start of last year, I think it was, but that was
I didn't read it. It just sounded like dribble.
Yeah, it'll be someone still butthurt about the heavy mufflers that they had at the start of last year because essentially they made the car very light and had to add weight and made a really heavy muffler because it's at the bottom of the car and
makes sense.
It's a good place to bolt weight down instead of having to bolt it, under the driver's seat or whatever. You can get it right under the car and yeah. So anyway, we got fairly off topic there. So eSeries, it was better this week. We'll watch it again next week. Yeah, Bathurst next week. So
can't wait.
Hopefully there's 40, 50 cars around the track.
At least. I think Greg Murphy, Russell Ingall, Ambrose. Yeah, some of these guys should
Paul Morris. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties and we got cut short a little bit. I think we ended up covering everything. As you see, we're moving out of, the, what do you call this? The real world into the digital world, and there's some problems. Try and get them sorted for next week so we can make it a bit more professional. But as I said, I think we covered everything, except the only thing I wanted to cover was Shane Van Gisbergen's car's got white wheels, which are different. I noticed the minimal time that Jamie Whincup got on the coverage, his wheels were silver like most others. I'm not sure why, if someone could tell me why Shane's are white, but that looked pretty cool. And I thought, well, if Shane can do that with his car, why can't some of the other cars, maybe Cam Waters have some black wheels, things like that. Mix it up a little bit. I think there's, say Scott Pies even have yellow wheels on the front, black wheels on the back. Can we do that? That would be a cool little thing. So anyway, that's the review of the BP Supercars All-Stars eSeries Round 2. And until next time, I'll catch you later.